Going to be cooking up some roast potatoes today. Now normally when I cook up my roast potatoes, I either use things like sunflower oil, or more recently I've been using olive oil. Gives it a lovely flavour. Now today I thought I'd do a little bit different because I cooked up a whole roast duck the other day and I kept back all the sort of duck fat because it's supposed to be beautiful for roast potatoes. So thought I'd give it a go and use some duck fat for making these really lovely roast potatoes. Now if you want to try this recipe and you haven't just cooked up a whole duck and you haven't got any duck fat, go down the supermarket, you can buy goose fat or duck fat, and both of them are supposed to be really delicious. So no excuses, give it a try. Now to make these roast potatoes, all you're going to need is some potatoes, and what I'm going to do is peel those and then just put them into some boiling water, part boil them for about 10 or 12 minutes, just so you can stick a knife in and they fall off and then they're ready to go. Now with the potatoes, I've chosen to use Maris Piper potatoes because I find they work really nice for doing roast potatoes. They crispen up nice and they're soft in the middle, beautiful. Now obviously if you've got your own choice of potatoes, use whatever you like to use. If you're not really sure and you're down the supermarket or the greengrocers, ask them or have a look on the packaging, and usually it will say what they're for, and you're looking for ones that say for roasting. Now with the duck fat, as I say, I cooked up a whole duck, kept me fat in the freezer, so I've pulled it out. Now what you find is when you put it in a baking tray and then put it in the oven, it all turns into liquid, and once you've dried your potatoes off, you put them straight in, roast them up, and about 45 minutes later you've got the most delicious roast potatoes. So there's the ingredients. What I'm going to do is to start off by peeling the potatoes, and then I'm going to put them into some boiling water in a pan on the hob. So I've got my potatoes. Now I've actually chopped them up in half on the bigger ones just to kind of make them roughly the same sort of size. Now what I'm going to do is just pour some boiling water straight from the kettle, just kind of speed it up a little bit. Switch the gas on. Just move that pan a little bit. Now I'm also going to put just a little bit of salt in the water there. Put a lid on it. So now I've got the potatoes in the pan with the boiling water, a little bit of salt. Once they come up to the boil, I'd say you want to boil them for about 10, maybe 12 minutes, just until they're soft enough that you can stick a knife in and the potato falls off. The important thing is don't overboil them, because otherwise they all break apart and you don't really get a nice roast potato. So don't overboil them, keep an eye on them and make sure the water doesn't overflow. I've been gently boiling my potatoes for about 5 minutes. Now it's a good time to turn them over, because somehow the ones at the bottom seem to cook a little bit quicker, so if you just mix them around it will just help to cook them all nice and evenly. So put the lid back on, carry on cooking, and when I think we're done we'll test them with the knife. So I've got my potatoes and I've been cooking mine for about 12 minutes actually. Now it's just starting to break up on the outside of the potato, so that's a good sign. Let's stick the knife in, and these are just about falling off, so they're ready to go. But if your needs a little bit longer, cook it a little bit longer, you know, just because I say 10-12 minutes, it might be 13 or 14. Now what I'm going to do is take those off the heat, tip all the water away because we don't need that, and bring them back, because what we want to do now is to try and get the potatoes nice and dry, because you're going to be putting the potatoes into some hot duck fat, and what you don't want is loads of water on a potato, otherwise it makes a complete mess of your oven and we don't want that. So take it over to the sink and drain all the water away. Now I've just tipped all the water away. Now what we can do at this point is a little trick just to make them so that they go really lovely and crispy on the outside. So grab the lid, just give them a good sort of pull up like that, check you're not breaking them up too much, and again just be gentle doing this. So leave the lid off now, let all that steam come out, let them cool down a little bit, and then we can put them in the duck fat. So I'm going to get myself a baking tray, put some of the duck fat in, and we're going to put that in the oven and get it nice and hot. Now I've got my baking tray that's big enough to take all the potatoes, and I've got my duck fat there. Now I use whatever I had in the bowl, so just put it all in there. Now when you put that into a nice hot oven, it will turn into a liquid. It'll just look like any other kind of oil really. So let that get really nice and hot. Once it's really hot, then we can pour in all those potatoes and start getting a beautiful colour and a lovely flavour on them. So I'm just going to put that straight in the oven, get it nice and hot. Now I can hear that duck fat sizzling away there, so I think it's time to put the potatoes in there. Whoop, careful because it's really hot this. Now I've got my potatoes and I'm just going to pour those in. Now I know there isn't much water in there because I was careful to make sure it all went. Give those a little shake up, put them back in, and what I'd say is turn them round, you know, at least halfway through so you get both sides really nice and covered. So leave them cooking, build up a beautiful colour. Now I'm going to be cooking mine at 200 degrees Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit, gas mark 6, and in total I'd say cook for about 45 minutes. Halfway through, just shake them up a little bit or turn them over just so you get all the outside really nice and crispy and, you know, with some of that duck fat on there. Now I've got my roast potatoes. Let's have a look at them. Pull them out, have a quick look. Now I'm going to try and swash them around first, so let's just put something. Just makes life easy. You know, if you need to, one or two sort of stuck to the bottom or whatever, just turn them around with a fork. Just to make sure that all the potatoes cover with that duck fat. So let's put it back in. Starting to get a little bit of a colour, so that's good. And keep it going until you get a really nice colour on the outside. Now I've been cooking my roast potatoes for 45 minutes. So let's pull it out, have a look. Now what I'm going to do is put those on the table and serve them up, a little bit of chicken, bit of broccoli, bit of gravy, make a bit of a meal of it. Now I'm just going to serve mine up. First of all, a little bit of broccoli. Now I actually steam this so it takes longer, but it's supposed to be better for you. So got me broccoli there. Let's add a little bit of chicken and some of those lovely roast potatoes. Got a little bit of chicken leg. Look at that, beautiful. And then of course got these really yummy roast potatoes in that duck fat. I know these taste good. Oh. Let me find a really nice one, look. And got this bit here. Oh, that is going to be yummy. Let me just show you this. This is like the little flaky bit that kind of got left behind, but that is delicious. I love it. Look, this one's got one attached. So leave that there. Let's just put a little bit of gravy on there. Lovely. So I've got it all served up. Look at these beautiful potatoes. They look really yummy. Just going to start off with this little bit here, look. Oh, you can hear it's nice and crispy. Let me just try that. That is delicious. That bit was really nice. Nice and soft in the middle. Crispy on the outside. Oh, really nice actually. This duck fat makes them nice and crispy and quite delicious because I used a bit of port and marmalade when I sort of cooked up my duck. I think that transfers into these roast potatoes. I think your nan or your mum, grandma, would be proud of you. That is delicious. And obviously I've got a little bit of chicken here. I've cooked up. A bit of broccoli. Put it all together. Maybe that's an English thing, but happy Christmas. Oh, a roast dinner is delicious. And with these, you know, potatoes, a little bit extra special flavour, you can't go wrong. And just before I go, just want to show you these potatoes. Look, they're not stuck to the bottom. Really nice flavours from all that duck fat. And just going to try one of those. Nice and crispy on the outside. Soft in the middle. Really delicious. Oh, that's so good. These little bits. Get them all out of the pan. Oh, so good. Thanks for watching. Right to the end. Hope to see you soon. The original Naked Chef.